Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, second-year man Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears as they take on Sam Bradford, playing for his fourth NFL team, the Arizona Cardinals. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. A moment ago, this Arizona crowd was on its feet. The defensive starters, led by perennial All-Pro Patrick Peterson, were introduced. Now they've got a tough one on their hands as they'll square off with the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback who grew up just outside of Cleveland on Lake Erie, Mitchell Trubisky.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
Now a first carry for their fullback. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And let's take a look at the Bears offense.
At running back is Jordan Howard, who was an absolute revelation as a rookie, but he finished second to Ezekiel Elliott for the rushing title in 2016. And no sophomore slump for him at all. Followed it up with a second straight 1,000-yard season and finished 5th in the league in rushing.
And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
Now's a good chunk of yardage picked up there. And the big fella, sometimes he doesn't need a whole lot of space created. He can make his own way.
3rd and 2. Now Trubisky. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Trubisky fighting the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Anytime a team goes on the road, there's always that little bit of fear that maybe they can be affected by the hometown crowd. But this is where game planning really came into play. They talked about it all week. Go in there, establish yourselves. Well, that run right there, that slows down the crowd and gives them a lot of confidence.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
Here the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game: 19 carries, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
On second down, Johnson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there as they move the chains. As David Johnson works his way back from the wrist injury, what are the hesitations, the cautions for him?
Well, number one, you want to make sure he's got full strength in the wrist because he's going to carry the football an awful lot, so ball security is important. And you definitely want to make sure there's flexibility there because he's been such a great pass catcher in the past. You want to make sure he gets back to being able to do that as well.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
It's a little bit different size than they're used to seeing in Chicago, playing the middle linebacker position. But undersized or not, his speed is absolutely overwhelming. And when he arrives with a thump. The city of broad shoulders loves Roquan Smith.
They'll try to throw now. Bradford. And Fitzgerald has got it. Touchdown, Cardinals. Larry Fitzgerald, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Here's Phil Dawson now for the point after. Dawson tacks on the point after, and it's now a 7-0 game. A drive there of just 4 plays, and the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Now look now at the defensive starters for the Cardinals. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And they needed to be because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and they got it done.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. It's Trubisky. Throw left side complete. It's Sims. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
The 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still 3rd down.
And the delay of game penalty makes this much more difficult. 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Over the middle, complete. It's Martin. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
The wrist seems fine. The legs were never a problem as DJ's in the backfield again on 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
To throw, Bradford. Got a man. It's the rookie Christian Kirk. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On third down, Bradford. And he finds his man. That's Butler. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they convert on third with a gain of 22. Now a handoff. Johnson pushes past him. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
This is caught, and he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it with Johnson, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And Johnson on an island by himself in the backfield, 2nd and goal. Bradford now. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? From the shotgun, it's Bradford. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On to try the field goal now, Phil Dawson. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And Dawson's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator. And what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's
on the
better.
drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
Here's Trubisky to throw. It's complete to Martin. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it second down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
This is Howard on second down. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Spinning again. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. And now let's look at David Johnson. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
To throw on third down. Bradford. This one complete to Gresham. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Now Trubisky to throw. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And it's complete to Martin. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down. They go play action here on first down. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man you can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Trubisky draw play, gives to Howard. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Trubisky got his man complete over the middle. That's Burton. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Over the middle, complete. It's Burton. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now it's Trubisky. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially.
And this is caught. It's White for a Bears touchdown. Kevin White, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Parkey adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He only has a single solo carry, one. Numero uno, second quarter. They need to get in the ball more, don't they?
I'm not the greatest statistician in the world.
Yeah, you are.
But a back like that with only one carry kind of takes me back to college in the classroom. Not enough evidence to declare what you should do the rest of the game. Give him the ball some more and find out.
Will they? And the pressure gets to Bradford, and down he goes. Akeem Hicks in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Airing this one out for Fitzgerald. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, a 22.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And Martin's got it, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll bring up a second down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion. Well, it wasn't much of a gain, but we're getting near the 2-minute warning, so maybe they just want to get to that point, regroup, and decide what they want to do the rest of the half.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And Parkey's kick is good. And that will knot us up at 10. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Sam Bradford heading back out as he and his offense get ready to go again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And he'll be taken down right around the 27. A minute 57 to go in this first half. More from the desert after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Now a second down throw for Bradford. Looking sideline, incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Cardinals on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Bradford. And this is going to be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. And that's a nice gain by him on first down, picking up some key yardage.
On second down, here's Trubisky. And this is going to be a safety as Trubisky gets swallowed up in the end zone. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. He'll field this at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong. Only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. And I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turn into a heck of a DB, though, partner. On second down, Bradford again. Caught on the left side, Fitzgerald. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Bradford. Caught right side, Gresham. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Bradford now to throw on first down. That's caught by Butler over the middle. Touchdown, Cardinals! Bryce Butler, as the first half is winding down, and the Cardinals will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Now Dawson for the extra point. Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So they come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Following the interception, Bradford in the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Dawson's kick is good. And that will give him a 12-point lead. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So as it turns out, a 2-play drive resulting in the field goal. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. On play action, Bradford. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. Touchdown, Cardinals! Larry Fitzgerald with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, with those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Extra point try now for Dawson. Dawson tacks on the point after, and that will make this a 19-point game. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Probably a bit of a surprise call there on first down, but how about a tone setter for the drive? Picking up nice yardage with the big man setting the tone physically.
And all the way down to the 22-yard line. Trubisky finding White on a big play. 41 yards. Now Trubisky on first down. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it's a second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Trubisky with the give to Howard. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Kevin White, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bears get a bit closer.
Well, if you've got him in your fantasy league, you like his production, his 2nd touchdown of the game. But right now, his team is trailing. Fortunately, he's playing pretty well and trying to keep them in it.
Yeah, they might need a little more from him here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to call his number. Right now, he needs his defense to step up and give him a chance.
Parkey with the extra point, and that will shave 1 more off this lead. That time a 6-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again. We get a peek at Larry Fitzgerald as he heads back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And, Johnson dinged up a bit. Still down. Hopefully nothing serious. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Cardinals on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Off the play fake. Bradford. And able to find Kirk complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They run with Logan. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now Bradford on second down. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 23. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A give to Howard. Uses the stiff arm. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On 1st, they go right back to Howard. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball and where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play he did. So you've got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game. And he's got a 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Ray Malaluga. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. The Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
They turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. On third down, it's Logan. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. And they get 10 yards there and convert on third. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
Bradford on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fitzgerald. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On the carry, it's Logan. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Here's Bradford. Fitzgerald's got it right side. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So both teams trade touchdowns in the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the 4th. Bradford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it here with Logan. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt? So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today.
from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Dawson's kick is good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. 2nd and 10. It's Trubisky again. He completes it right side to White. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. 3rd and 2. Now Trubisky got his man complete over the middle. That's Burton. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Over the middle, complete. That's Martin. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Trubisky to throw again. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Brandon, you know how we talk about having wrinkles in a game plan? That was a fold right there. How about that play? Being able to change things up. You think anyone else on the team's going to get the ball, and in that situation, they surprise everyone and give it to their big guy.
On the handoff, this is Howard. He will push his way down to about the 14th. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On the give, this is their fullback. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. Out of the gun, Trubisky. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
I don't know about you, but can you just almost feel the relief that's gone through this stadium? He picked up that first down. Without it, this game is over.
And when he took off, it was almost like, oh, no, this might be it, but found a way to pick up the first. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. From the shotgun is Trubisky. His pass caught at the 4. No gain there on the completion. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Howard all alone in the backfield on second and goal. He's going to get it running right and trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Now a 3rd and goal situation as this Arizona defense tries to stand tall once more. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. It's the fullback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bears cut into that lead. Well, nothing complicated about that. That's old-school power football.
And effective. And that's the key to everything, right? Sometimes we try and do too many things. Just hand it to the big guy and let him go forward.
And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. Parkey adds the extra point as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now let's look at David Johnson. And the numbers show the improvement, and this is kind of what we thought we would expect to see from him. I know we overanalyze these things sometimes, but what switch? What's flipped that switch?
Sometimes I think when you're as great as he is, you just kind of roll out each game and expect good things to happen. And that's not always the case. Those guys on the other side of the ball, they're the NFL 2 for a reason. So maybe at halftime he gets a chance to regroup, kind of get it back together, get a little extra resolve, and now he's putting it into practice.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeout in order to...
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Leonard Floyd, and he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So what can the Bears do here as they'll go for 2? After the interception, here's Trubisky. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, it's Johnson. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Bradford to throw. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. Here's Johnson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Cards, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Seattle Seahawks come to town. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.